Hey gang, it's JC and this is the Daily Dose for Thursday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great archives at the top of the page. You can punch around for hours and hours looking at some of the great television history and St. Louis history that we have up there. Also, we have our eye candy feature right along the bottom of the screen here. Just a great viral video. We got a good one today, by the way. I was looking for something for St. Patrick's Day. I couldn't really find anything, but I have something that's Elvis related, and we'll tell you about it here in just a couple of minutes. All right, new polls are showing that Sarah Palin's ratings are dropping fast among Republicans. Well, it's really not news. We all know that Republicans drop women when they start getting older. Just ask Newt Gingrich. We have the St. Louis Blues for sale. How about that? Dave Checketts was supposed to be the big savior. Deep pockets, history of having tremendous success running sports franchises and not investing a lot of his own money, but getting people who have deep pockets together to get things like this done. But Dave Checketts is checking out, and the St. Louis Blues are for sale. You know things are bad when you're Charlie Sheen, and even Andrew Dice Clay is on your case. Andrew Dice Clay was interviewed yesterday and just ripped Charlie a new one. So things are getting worser and worser, as they say. A guy last night on Channel 5, I'm just saying. Now, as you know, I'm not a fan of this feature, and I have given you all the reasons why I think it's stupid. And I don't think I've ever really sort of discussed this part of why I don't like it. You know, when you got a 10 o'clock news show, you figure you got 35 minutes. Okay, half of that is commercials. You got a big chunk of it that's just sort of like teases, telling people what's coming up next. You have just all the chatter that goes on between and amongst the anchor people. You have promos. You have all sorts of stupid stuff. And so when it comes right down to it, you probably have about 12, 13 minutes of actual news. So now, when you only have 12 or 13 minutes of actual news in a half-hour or 35-minute newscast, well, now you're going to throw up for, a minute or a minute and a half, some clown from Afton or something, and I'm not picking on Afton, but it's just you got some guy just up there yammering away. So they get a guy up there last night, a guy by the name of David Carder, C-A-R-D-E-R, from Calverton Park. And this guy is trying to make the case for the fact that daylight savings time is stupid. And one of the points that he finishes with is the fact that he has that SAD, seasonal affective disorder, where if you don't have a lot of light around you, you start getting depressed and everything. So this guy is basically saying that because he has seasonal affective disorder that we shouldn't have daylight savings time, and points out that there are two states, I think it's Arizona and Hawaii, that don't observe daylight savings time. Research a little shaky because also parts of Indiana too. But then he finishes with this one. He says that you wouldn't have the problem for example, in December, where it would be so dark all the time in December, because that's when the most suicides take place. Dead wrong. That's one of those things that's been floating around for years, where people are under the mistaken impression that the suicide rate is higher at Christmas time and in the month of December than any other time of the year, and it's absolutely false. So the idiot parade continues, and I'm just saying, on News Channel 5, where the news used to come first. All right, the jokes that Mike the Situation Sorrentino told at the Donald Trump celebrity roast on Comedy Central the other night were bad enough, the ones that actually made it onto the air. There were a couple that were edited out, and we've got them. He said to Snoop Dogg, who was up there on the dais, "What up, dog? You know, you have so much in common with Donald Trump. Trump's ancestors were into real estate, and your ancestors were considered property." Pretty classy, huh? Next, I'm not from New Jersey. I was born in Staten Island, which is a New York borough, not to be confused with the borough Marlee Matlin, who was also on the dais, and of course she is not able to speak. She was in Children of a Lesser God and some other movies. Not to be confused with the borough Marlee Matlin orally pleasures on stage in Tijuana. Relax, she didn't even hear it. I mean, at least her mouth is good for something, right? And then there's this one. Trump is a good-looking dude if your eyes are like Marlee Matlin's ears. Okay. Jersey Shore continues to just outclass the rest of us. Simon Cowell. All right, he's been milking this X Factor thing. It doesn't even come on until September. Now, they're going to start having auditions here in the next month or two. There's one in Chicago. I think it's in April. And but everybody's going, is he gonna, who the judge is going to be? It's going to be the biggest show in the world. Who the judge is going to be? Is Paula Abdul going to be one of the judges? So yesterday he announces that the first judge's name has been released, and it's a guy by the name of Antonio L.A. Reid, who 99.9% of the population doesn't have any idea who he is. Turns out this is the guy who signed Usher when he was 14, and Usher, as we know, signed Justin Bieber when he was 14. So not a great start, because the people who are responsible for Bieber fever, one of those guys is going to be one of the first guys that... never mind. Jimmy Kimmel is getting a lot of pressure from Jimmy Fallon, okay, because these guys are sort of on at the same time, different networks. Here in St. Louis, it's a little different because Channel 30 delays it. But I got to tell you, the guy who's having a good week is Jimmy Fallon, because Fallon last night had a terrific coup with Tiger Woods. And Tiger Woods, Amy Poehler, and Jimmy Fallon played the Wii golf game, and it was very, very funny. And Fallon brought Tiger out and really started sort of, I don't want to say pummeling him, but he just talked about how, as a comedian, it was great to capitalize on Tiger Woods' misfortune. And Tiger Woods just sort of sat there and just seemed to be just taking the whole thing, and not much he could really do about it. But Jimmy Fallon's having a good week tonight. Like a lot of things, everything's going to be in repeats because of NCAA basketball. All right, Mel Gibson. We were talking about this the other day, a couple of weeks ago, I guess it was, about this movie that he's in with Jodie Foster, which Jodie Foster has directed. And the movie is called The Beaver. And the story is about this guy who's got this tremendous psychological disorder, and he's got a beaver puppet on his hand. And the only way you can communicate with him is by talking to the puppet, and the puppet talks to other people. And Mel Gibson plays like a psycho in this movie, and we have heard, and I've seen the trailer of this thing, and it looks amazing. So last night, they do the premiere at the South by Southwest Film Festival in Austin, Texas, and the movie's over, and the place gives him a standing ovation. So is it possible for Mel Gibson to resurrect his career? At least with this movie, that's what it's starting to look like. And add this to the list of many, many ways that you leave your woman unsatisfied. According to a new survey, 26% of women say they hate the way their boyfriend proposed to them. The biggest complaints overall are that the proposal was not romantic, original, or personal. However, a whopping 96% of the women surveyed said that they just love the engagement ring, and after all, isn't that what's important anyhow? All right, we have a couple of St. Patrick's Day notes here for you today. Yahoo did a survey of about 2,000 people to find out how men and women consume alcohol. Some of the findings. Here are the top 5 things that they came out with. St. Patrick's Day isn't the most popular holiday for drinking. In fact, it wasn't even in the top 3. St. Patrick's Day came in 4th, behind New Year's Eve, Christmas, and the 4th of July. Number 2, men drink more. According to the survey, men drinkers outdrink women by an average of 2 beverages a week. Number 3, more men said they need alcohol to have a good time. 10% of the women surveyed said that they couldn't have fun with alcohol. 16% of men. Most drinkers had their first sip of alcohol before they were legally allowed to, and men are more likely to come home to work. Men are more likely to come to work, hungover. 13% of women say that they have done so, but 21% of men say that they have come to work hungover. St. Patrick wasn't Irish. We know that for now. He was born in Scotland or Wales. Until 1970. Until 1970, Irish bars closed on St. Patrick's Day. That's unbelievable. America is far more Irish than Ireland. There are more than 35 million Americans with Irish ancestry. The population of Ireland is only 4.2 million. 4 out of 5 Americans wear green today. It's really easy, it turns out, to dye the Chicago River. It only takes 40 pounds of green vegetable dye to do it, and the effects last for a couple of days. There are only 3 places in the world where St. Patrick's Day is a public holiday: Ireland, the Canadian province of Newfoundland, and the Caribbean island of Montserrat. The Super Bowl of keg theft is today, and here's basically how this works. To get more people into the bars on St. Patrick's Day, the bartenders take the empty kegs and usually put them outside in an alley. people come by because they know this. They come by and they steal the kegs because scrap metal prices are at an all-time high right now. So people go and steal the keg and turn them in and try to get money. St. Patrick's Day is the 8th largest card-sending holiday in the United States. About 10 million people give out cards. It ranks behind, and in order, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter, Halloween, and Thanksgiving. St. Patrick's favorite color was blue, not green. And the most astonishing one of all, it was back in 432 AD that St. Patrick died, sort of, on this date. Officials were unclear as to whether he died on March 8th or 9th, so church officials took those two dates, added them together, it came out to be 17, and that's how we have St. Patrick's Day on March 17th. How about that? Never knew it. All right, JC's Eye Candy today. As I said, I was looking for something St. Patrick's Day related, couldn't find it, but I did find something from a 1972 documentary on Elvis called Elvis on Tour. And there were lots of outtakes from that documentary, and one of them is our eye candy feature today. Elvis is riding in a car in Florida and talking about a NASA rocket launch, and he says he couldn't get to see it because he was buried in a beaver. But what he didn't know is that the camera also had sound. He thought maybe it was just something they were filming but no sound, and when he realizes that they got this thing on film, he starts singing the religious hymn, "What a Friend We Have in Jesus." Nice try, King. Oh, man, you got to see it, though. It's our eye candy feature. It's right below what you're looking at right now. All right, that's it. Don't forget now, it's 2 weeks from today is opening day at Busch Stadium, and Trish and I are going to be live from Hooters at 7th and Chestnut. Hooters, Chestnut, get it? So we'll be live at Hooters, and we're going to give us an extra hour of the show. So we're going to go on at 9, an hour early, 9 o'clock in the morning, and go up until 1 o'clock live from Hooters. We'll be doing our traditional home opener baseball show, which I know most people like here in St. Louis. And we try to freshen it every year, do a little better job, rearrange things, and try to make it more interesting. We have a lot of new stuff this year, and we're going to be playing it on March 31st, which is opening day in St. Louis. All right, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Thursday, March 17th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, what do I do with my baseball? 2 weeks till opening day. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.